Yeah, that's better. How's your vacation
It
going
was
today?
good, man. I just got back last night, so I'm kind of dragging ass a bit this morning
Where'd you go?
to Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah,
Oh, why'd you?
yeah. The original,
Are you going? Are you going back there for the
I am.
third?
Yeah, I'm going back Wednesday night. So the original plan was to stay 2 straight weeks, but I had commitments out here, so we had to come back.
Okay, nice. What did you do out in
Went to
Phoenix?
my wife's sister's house, so and then we looked at some houses on our own.
Oh, you moving to
We're thinking
Phoenix?
about it. Yeah,
What was the weather like?
it was nice. It was like high 40s, low 50s in the morning, and then 60s and 70s in the afternoon. So yeah, not too hot. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, not too bad at all.
Yeah, that ain't bad for November.
No, that's actually what it is right now, though. Here, so
Yeah, but earlier this
yeah,
well, no,
I saw.
last week it was
Yeah,
like
I saw.
30,
Yeah,
20 and 30. It was colder there because I still got my clock, my temperature set for there and
right, right.
here. It was colder there than it was here last
Yeah,
week.
when we left like at 3 a.m. and I think it was 22 degrees when we got out the car.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah, yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know Tennessee got that. I thought Tennessee was like warm during the winter, maybe like
no,
40s,
it gets
50s.
down there, but we've gotten in the teens and in the single digits on occasion. So
Shit, earlier this year it was
I know.
snowing like crazy. I remember when I drove down there in
Yeah,
January. It wasn't snow. It was colder there than it was
yeah,
here. It wasn't snowing up there, and it was snowing down
yeah,
there.
exactly. This year was one of the colder winters.
I thought I was gonna get away for the winter and go to a nice little area. Fuck that. I might be back down there early this year. Stay for a couple more
Yeah,
weeks. But anyway, what's going on with this boxing
yeah,
news?
no,
You didn't write any story this week because you've been on
yeah.
vacation.
There was a few stories I wrote. Nothing really
Uh,
major. I'm trying to remember. I know. Yeah, the WBO finally. Well, I should say they reordered Janibek and Jaime Munguia this time for Janibek's title. So I thought it was fitting that Janibek was the one name that Munguia did not mention on Saturday night. And then Sunday, that's the one sanctioned body that stepped up and said, "Well, now this is who you're going to fight next." So they got 15 days to decide their shit. That was from Sunday. So by next Monday, Munguia will have to decide whether or not he wants to fight him or lose his mandatory position with the WBO.
what's your guess?
Well,
Your educated
look, the
guess?
two names he called out. Unless I saw Jamal Charlo put out an IG last night claiming he's coming back in February. Which, if he is, then good for him. That is the only absolute wild card. If that fight is somehow back on the table, which I've not heard anything that it is, but Oscar keeps hinting that he can make that fight happen. That is the only way I don't see Munguia getting out of this fight and maintaining his ranking. So I just Janibek, he's going to need someone to fight too, because if he doesn't fight Munguia, then Top Rank is stuck with a bill, having to pay someone to fight him. So he's not this, big elaborate draw. But you know,
Yeah,
well,
I know.
I just don't know what to make with Oscar. It's like he's saying we can make that choice. He was pretty adamant about making the Charlo fight happen. Munguia, the two names he mentioned were Charlo and Gennady Golovkin. Golovkin basically is not available at all for 2023, unless he and Lara just absolutely do not fight.
True,
So
true.
yeah.
But because he has the what the W
He has the
the
IBF
what is it
IBF
IBF
mandatory with
mandatory?
fuck out, which that does sound like is going through. I keep hearing it's going to happen in Kazakhstan, so we'll see about that. But I am hearing that he will very most likely fight fuck out next.
Yeah, I heard him speaking about wanting to fight in Kazakhstan also.
Yeah. So I mean, look, for where Golovkin's at in his career, I mean that's definitely a bucket list item. So that's that's probably the only way a fight like that is going to be interesting, because Skiva Falcao is basically a 10-year prospect at this point. But yeah, getting back to Munguia, like he has to make a decision. He had his, he basically had 3 stay busy fights. We all, I think we're all on the same page. We kind of forgave, when he fought Demetrius Ballard. It wasn't a terrible fight. It was the understanding that he was going to fight someone like Charlo next. He hasn't, and the past 2 opponents have been horrible. So his first one out the gate in 2023 has to be a big step up fight. So with that, it has to be Janibek or Jamal Charlo.
Yeah, and how old is Munguia?
26.
26.
Yeah.
So he's still a very
He's
young guy.
right. So that's the problem. He's got time, but he's on TV so much, and we're in an age, the guys are only fighting once or twice a year. I mean, yeah, it's good that he's staying active, but this was like,
Yeah,
if it was a few years ago, these are fights that probably wouldn't be on US TV. But now he's,
that's true.
Golden Boy just doesn't have many, headliners left. So,
That's
he
true.
has to headline, and he gets away with
T.O., not T.O.,
Ryan Garcia.
Janabek, Janabek, Ryan Garcia Munguia, and what's my man name?
Virgil Ortiz.
Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're building up Zepeda to be the next one.
That was another story I wrote. So, William Zepeda, he is going to be ordered to fight Shakur Stevenson. So it was pretty amicable. My understanding was Top Rank was prepared to negotiate with Isak Cruz's people, and they were told, look, Isak is going to go the IBF route, which makes sense because if Haney starts giving up belts, the IBF belt would probably be the first one he does give up because a fight with Gustavo Lemos just isn't that attractive for what's out there for him. So Isak Cruz will probably wind up fighting someone like Lemos for that title once it becomes available. So, like I said, it was amicable. It wasn't like they were bitter. Fuck you, we're not fighting each other. They had good discussion, but they got a clear sense of which direction Pitbull was going. So now the WBC is going to order Shakur to fight William Zepeda, who's next in line. Zepeda was pretty adamant, saying, send me the contract and I'll sign it. I have my reservations about whether or not Golden Boy is going to deliver him, though.
Deliver them even if they order the fight?
I just don't. I have a feeling we're going to get to. I don't think Golden Boy and Zanfer is going to take that fight for Zepeda. I feel like they're going to have him take one more fight before pushing him towards that level. Which is a shame because, like I said, if Zepeda went public and saying, "Give me the fight," it's like, well, now they're giving him the fight, so now the onus is on them to deliver him. But we'll see about that.
So when is this order supposedly supposed to go through?
The WBC has to send letters to both of them. I know with the IBF, it's like they send a letter of an invitation to say, do you accept, to enter negotiations with this guy? So that's like a 5-day period. I'll admit, I don't know the WBC's policy. I don't know if they just ordered the mandatory straight away. If so, it's, the clock is on and, it's a 30-day period. So it's possible if Zepeda's team, wants to stretch it out, they could buy a little bit of time and then figure out his next move. But if he passes on it, then it goes to Kambosos. Then it goes to, what's the boy's name? Yoshino from Japan, who I was told he would take that fight. So I know, Broadway Joel keeps pumping for Edwin De Los Santos to get that Shakur fight. He's ranked pretty far down. I think he's number 11 in the WBC. I don't think it's going to get down that far.
Yeah, I doubt it gets down.
Right. So, but I was, casually joking. I said I don't want to see a situation where we start calling this guy, Shikargovich, where everyone in the rankings just keeps avoiding him out, fighting him for a mandatory.
Let's see.
Hey guys,
what's up?
Hold on, Matt.
How's the speaking of the mandatories and how's Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis?
So they got to negotiate. We'll see. I have a feeling that's going to go to first. So I know the WBA, they got their convention coming up December 11th through 14th. They already have December 12th as a date for all the purse bids they're going to hold. So that could be a very big part of the convention. I'm sorry.
How many days out of it's been 2 weeks, correct?
Yes.
So they got about another 15 days.
Right? Yeah, I think it was like 10 days ago maybe they ordered. So they have until right around the time, like if they don't reach a deal, then it would be right before the convention. So that would be perfect timing for them. And I'm sure the WBA timed it. It was the 16th, so they would have theoretically they would have until December 16th, but I can see the WBA, pushing for because they're already planning to have another purse bid for Leo Santa Cruz and Lee Wood to try to figure out that featherweight mess. So, but that seems to be their big plan. That more so than the ratings portion of the convention, it's going to be the purse bids to see, what fights they can actually deliver going into 2023.
So they had the purse bids directly there at the convention?
Yes, in Orlando. Yeah, in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
So
didn't it open?
Go ahead. Okay, I was going to say with Santa Cruz and Lee Wood, that one they claim that like there's no more exceptions. They don't want to hear that they're taking separate fights. That if they can't reach a deal, it's going straight to purse bid. If either side refuses to go through with the fight, they're going to get stripped of their title. If both of them decide they're going in a separate direction, supposedly the WBA is going to strip both of them of their title.
Good.
Which, I mean, quite frankly, that probably would be the best move. I would say.
Yes.
When shit gets to that point, just burn down the village and start all over.
Cause this is a year. This is damn near going on a year.
Yes, last December was when Leo Santa Cruz gave the WBA his commitment that he would fight. He was supposed to fight the Lee Wood Michael Conlon winner. And
Yes.
then when that didn't get delivered, then they put Jack. That's when all this whole mess started. So, if you want to be favorable, you could say it's been since April, but it realistically, it's been going on for quite too long. And with Leo, look, it's going to be February, be 4 years since his last fight at featherweight. So I get it; he's got a great career, but he has no reason to hold that title ransom any longer.
Well, hopefully he goes straight to the immediate
Yeah.
immediate purse bid.
And I kept saying too, if like even if the PBC side, if they feel like Lee Wood can't travel to the U.S., that force it to a purse bid, win the purse bid, and say, okay, well now you got to travel. If you can't travel, there you go. That belt's gone. Leo's free to move on.
Can Lee Wood travel? Why are we still? Why are we still at this point where we're wondering if guys can
Yeah,
travel or not?
it's speculation at this point, but
I mean, it's been what, since May? These guys should know if they could travel or not. If you don't know if you could travel, do a test run.
yeah, I agree.
This is ridiculous. And then everybody's just ignoring the shit like it's not a big deal. Hey, this affects everybody. Maybe somebody should dig into this shit and figure out what's going on, because like you said, if he can't travel, then that's a wasted.
Yeah, exactly. Then Matchroom would have to keep winning purse bids just to keep bringing
Yeah.
fights over there. So
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a bigger deal than that people should be making a issue out of than just ignoring it.
yeah, exactly. And I will say, like, even with someone like Fury, it's like he did try. He thought he was going to get away with going to Miami and supporting Daniel Dubois, and that's how he found out that he couldn't travel. So
Yeah,
I agree. Don't do a fight and then get to the airport and say, "Oh shit," like a Tommy Fury situation.
yeah.
But
I think he probably told them to put him on the list because
right, exactly.
he's scared of Jake Paul. That's all that was.
So
But so okay, so we had Leo Santa Cruz, but I want to talk more about this Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis, because this is a fight I'm really, really looking forward to, because I want it to happen really bad. If there is a purse bid, and no matter who sides win, do you think both guys going through with it?
yes, I do. I absolutely do. Because I think it. I know there's been some internal rift with Stanionis' team, but the bulk of the team understood, they were resigned to the fact they weren't going to get Errol Spence, and they wanted the Virgil Ortiz fight. So I do believe Stanionis is one of those guys. He will fight anybody, and his team seems pretty confident in his ability. So obviously, anyone fighting Errol Spence is going to be an underdog. But absent that, I think he gives anyone problems at welterweight. So I absolutely believe he'll go through with that fight. And Virgil, like I said, he's out of moves unless he somehow waits out the WBO. But he's had plenty of chances to fight, to go that route if he wanted to.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
What, a true 50-50 fight.
Exactly.
At the welterweight division is what we need. Two guys in there. How old is Stanionis?
Oh, man, that's a good question. I don't have that off the top of my head.
Like late 20s?
I would say, early, somewhere around there.
He's not in his 30s, right?
He might be 31.
Oh, he might be 31. I thought he was.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, now when that fight goes off, what happens with the WBO that Virgil vacates the number one position?
So I keep thinking about what Boots is next. I know he pushed for the IBF to enforce his mandatory. That hasn't yet happened. I think he's going to try to go a route where he's fighting for an interim title, but he is next in line. So that is something to think about too. Like if he feels like, okay, if he doesn't sign with PBC, if he's just on Showtime, then he's going to get screwed going that route. Why not? Why he can go fight Bud.
So you think he's going for a IBF intern titles next year?
Yes, I do. That was my sense, especially based on the interviews that Bozzi's been doing.
Man, if he do that, bro, if he do that, I'm done. I'm done. I can't deal with this no more.
It's not that he wants a cheap title, but he wanted the Spence fight. Obviously, he's not getting the Spence fight. An interim title would ensure, if the sanctioning bodies follow their rules, and if the winner of Spence Thurman sticks around at welterweight, that would ensure.
But if they stick around, they got to fight the winner of Virgil and Stanionis. So he still be pushed out when he could just go take the WBO and fight Crawford for a title.
To me, that seems the most sensible route. But
yeah, I mean, if you I'm gonna see what he's gonna do. I'm gonna reserve comment until I see what he does. Because you're still like third. Because the WBA has already said the winner of Stanionis Spence Stanionis Virgil Ortiz has to fight the winner of Keith Thurman and Earl Spence. So right there, you already got that. That's already ordered. And once they order it, that means you can't do a unification trumps mandatory. Am I correct?
Correct.
Once it's been ordered.
Correct.
And it has been ordered.
Yeah.
So
Now the WBA would have to order it though. This is the third time where the WBA is saying Stanionis has next.
Yeah, but excuse me.
Right.
But they said they're going to let those two fight, and the winner of Spence versus Thurman has 180 days to fight the winner of Virgil Ortiz and
Stanionis. And I get that. A few months ago, they also said they were going to allow Spence Crawford to happen. If that didn't happen, Spence had to fight Stanionis. Otherwise, he would have to give up his title. And they bent the knee. When TGB put in that request, Gilbertico did what he does best. He bent the knee and gave in.
Well, look, if they want to be in the big fish business, they're going to have to listen to what big fish say. You can go over there and get your little belt to Stanionis and get your little 3% off of $200,000.
Yeah.
Or you can stay in the big fish business and get your percentage off of 2-3 days.
I agree with that. And in that vein, if Big Fish decides, well, you know what? After I beat Keith Thurman, I'm still going to figure out what I'm going to do next. You're not going to tell me who I'm fighting. The WBA would be like, okay.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm holding my breath on Stanionis ever getting a shot at the main title. I have a feeling his reign.
Look, if he beats Virgil Ortiz, he deserves a shot at that title.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I'm gonna be the biggest. If he beats Virgil Ortiz, I'm gonna be the biggest Stanionis fan. The biggest pusher is Stanionis versus the winner of Spence Thurman out here.
Yeah,
because that is a big fight.
It is,
and that's one of the better wins at welterweight.
Yeah.
So moving on from that. Sorry, I had to heat something.
And we got all the stuff we got tonight. Obviously, 2 shows in the UK, and then the fight that we should be talking about that hasn't been talked about enough, obviously, is Jose Zepeda and Regis Prograis fighting for the vacant WBC 140-pound title.
Bro, where are you in the Hodgin calendar? What is all that noise?
It says podcast. I'm about.
Sound like you in a wind tunnel. Matt, why do you have your hand up?
Because I wanted to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt. First, I would like to say it is an honor and privilege to be on this great program. This is my favorite program to listen to every week. Second, I just want to wish Jake and his lovely wife a happy anniversary. Hope you enjoy your time with your family. You know, Jake, judging by your wedding picture, I now understand that God took your hair to balance out giving you such a beautiful bride. So, you take care of her the way you have been, man. I just want to know, is there any update on any type of negotiations or beginning negotiations, any feelers out there with Deontay Wilder's next fight?
I keep thinking, I don't see any other path other than him fighting Andy Ruiz next. So unless he just absolutely decides he's not interested in going the WBC route anymore. But
so no chance at Joshua, nothing like that?
I wouldn't say there's no chance at Joshua, but I feel like Joshua would have to get a fight before going straight into a Deontay fight, unless Matchroom and DAZN are just ready to cash him out. But I don't get that sense. Joshua, there's potential for him to do this whatever global tour. Matchroom has plenty of heavyweights to throw at him if he just wanted to take a stay busy fight or two. So a fight like that, it would be dependent on what Joshua's plans are for at least the beginning of 2023. But
the winner of tonight's fight is supposed to be next in line for Joshua.
Right, and especially if it's Dillian White, that would set up what would be I think still a somewhat attractive rematch. So because Joshua's kind of been pushed down a little bit to where it's not quite as lopsided.
Damn shame.
Yeah, I wish Jermaine Franklin showed up. I don't know, man. I didn't really. I wasn't crazy about his chances going into this fight. Obviously, anyone who can land an uppercut on Dillian White has a shot, but I don't know.
Are you trying to say that you were disturbed by the fact that he has titties?
That's pretty much, yeah. That's
yes.
Especially coming off of 3-year layoff.
He has not been very active at all. But
he hasn't fought since that. What was that? His last fight was on that Clarissa Shields undercard in Flint. Was that his last fight? Or did he have one after that?
I thought he's had a stay busy fight early this year, but he has not been active at the top level. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's too bad. So everybody sitting up here backing Franklin. Trust me, if he had a chance, he wouldn't be getting this fight.
Right. Exactly.
He did lose 20 pounds from his last fight, though.
I am of course, he's a Michigan boy, so I'm gonna be rooting for him. But if he had a chance, he would not be getting this fight.
Right.
All right. Also, Regis and
Jose
Zepeda tonight.
Zepeda. Yeah.
Zepeda, who has overcome a car crash
and a gym fight.
In a gym fight, somebody harassing him at the gym.
Yeah.
Steps into the ring tonight against Regis Prograis. What you think about that fight?
I'm still undecided on who's going to win this fight. I like both guys equally well, and I'm glad. I remember. So Monday, I was literally up in the Sedona Mountains when I got phone calls, asking, "Hey, I know you're close to Zepeda's team. Can you find out? We just heard he got into a car crash." So I had to go find out. Fortunately, Jose remained unscratched. Rene Zepeda seemed to have gotten the worst of it. His brother and trainer. He got a little banged up, but of the only one, everyone in the car, Rene was the only one who got injured. So Jose was fine. He just couldn't make it to the immediate workout. But I know there was concern. It's like, damn, is this like the final sign that this fight is not going to go forward? But credit to everyone involved. They pushed through. To me, it's a 50-50 fight. It's
you think it's 50-50?
Yeah, I do.
I think Regis wins.
I think
easily because
a lot of people. Right, a lot of people just seem to have anointed Regis as this unofficial champion at 140, and I get it. Look, I get along very well with him. He is, to me, the best or the best, non-champion out there. But Zepeda is no pushover. People are judging him on,
I agree with that.
His inability to come up, to come up big at the top level. But he was like, if you could see me, he's this close. He was this close to beating Jose Ramirez, a few years ago.
Yeah, I wish the handicapper saw it the way you do because Regis like what minus 300.
Is he that much of a favorite? Yeah. I think Jose is going to give him also.
Regis is minus 460.
Jesus Christ! Wow. I didn't know it was that much. Man, I'm gonna send you over some bets to bet for me today.
Better send it before the fight start this time.
I am.
But yeah, no, that's a terrific fight, and the one thing that kind of disturbed me, and again, I say this with all the love in the world for Regis and his team, but they completely missed the narrative. This narrative that Regis has been ducked for 3 years. It's like there's a reason why he hasn't gotten the title. We've discussed this several times on this show. He's had steps to where he could have positioned himself better to fought for a title, far quicker than waiting 3 years for it. Nobody told him to miss weight when he had the WBA Eliminator on a PBC show. Nobody told him to walk away from PBC and go the Pro Bellum route. So his team, they made the decision to go the route that they did. They chased money. Look, he wants to get paid, and thinking he's going to get these fights, that they promise him. So, that's fine. But this is the price he's had to pay in the meantime.
And the winner must face Jose Ramirez. Well, Ramirez must face the winner. You think he's taking that fight? What would that be? That'd be a year out of the ring for him, right? By the time that fight comes out.
Ramirez has not fought since, March. And like I said, he took that fight with Pedraza earlier this year, thinking that he was going to get Josh Taylor next, or that Taylor would have vacated the WBC belt and he could have fought Jose Zepeda during the summertime.
Hey, Jake. Hey, the winner got to fight both of those guys, right? They got to fight Tio and Sandor winner as well, right?
They got to fight Ramirez, and then Teofimo and Sandor Martin is now look, that's a WBC mandatory. The winner has to decide to go that route. If Sandor Martin wins, I can see him fighting for the title. Teofimo, to me, it sounds like he's going to fight Josh Taylor next year. I don't know if he's going to necessarily care about chasing the WBC title.
Because when you win that vacant belt, you got to fight 2 mandatories, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Right? Yeah, correct. So, and again, that's, Teofimo Lopez has to, first he has to win, and then he has to decide that he wants to fight for that title.
Well, did you see that his father said he's training him by himself?
Yeah, he don't need nobody. Nobody knows his son better than he does. Yeah.
I just put another 50 on Sandor Martin.
Yeah, put your money on Sandor Martin.
Yeah. Look, Sandor Martin is a tricky fighter. He's not a spectacular fighter by any means, but for what Teofimo looked like in August and just where his head probably is still at, on paper he should run through the guy, but
he's tricky, but he's not flashy enough to
no, not at all.
To win rounds, in my opinion.
No, I was gonna say, and look, we're still looking at his biggest win, which is Mikey Garcia, and you can easily argue it was everything that Mikey Garcia was unable to do versus anything that Sandor Martin did that night. So if Teofimo does have his head back, he should win that fight handily. But I'm not looking past December 10th yet, and I'm also not confident that he's going to go chasing after Prograis or Zepeda.
That's a big fight. So he's willing to go overseas to fight.
I mean, if that's going to be the biggest payday, why wouldn't he go take that fight?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very sellable fight. And again, it's because he's still waiting out the pro grades are paid to win it to fight Ramirez. So it's like, how long would he wait? Even if he wanted that WBC title shot, how long would he wait for it?
This other fight, Fabio Wardley and Nathan Gorman. I'm thinking about putting some money on
that. They talk Wardley up a lot. So Gorman just seems to be like one of those. He's always struck me as a gatekeeper type. I'm not sure I'm gaga over Fabio Wardley, but
he's less than a gatekeeper. So
okay. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Is.
Come on, we ain't gonna do that.
Excuse me. I've been following British boxing for a long time. Let me bring my expertise into this one. So Nathan Gorman, the only reason why he has notoriety is because to the British public, he looks like a mini version of Tyson Fury. He's actually not that good. He got beat by Daniel Dubois in his step-up fight. He's looked like shit in his last few fights. And not only that, he's always woefully out of shape. He has very short arms and he has very limited power. Fabio Wardley is supposed to be one of the rising prospects that is signed to Eddie Hearn. So they're not going to put him in there with Nathan Gorman in order to get him beat by Nathan Gorman. What's going to happen is he's going to be set up to make Fabio Wardley look good. He's going to get knocked out. That's what's going to happen.
That's what you think, Envio?
That's what I know. And you can take it to the bank.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to send that bet over to you. If I lose,
hey, you about to lose your job.
Nathan Gorman cannot take a punch.
But he can punch as well, and we haven't seen
Nathan Gorman cannot punch.
We have not seen Fabio Wardley fight anybody. We haven't seen him do much of anything
because they are building him. This is the step up in the eyes of the British public. He is going to smoke this dude. There's a reason why Frank Warren. Yes, there's a reason why Frank Warren let him go. There's a reason why Frank Warren let him go. You think Eddie Hearn is going to sign some former Frank Warren heavyweight to beat one of his prospects that he's trying to build? Come on, man.
They thought the same shit about Bronco Lara, too.
Bronco Lara had nothing to do with Frank Warren.
That was 100%.
Yeah, Bronco Lara ain't got nothing to do with Frank Warren.
No, I'm just saying, though. You said you think he's going to sign a guy to beat his heavyweight. Yeah, I don't think
he's not going to sign a Frank Warren
nobody
guy.
thought nobody thought Lara was going to win that fight.
Yeah, I just don't think. I don't think Gorman just going. I don't think he's just going to breeze through Gorman like that. I mean, he for sure. I think he'll beat him, but I don't think he's going to breeze through him. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight.
What they're saying he is, he should breeze through him.
Correct. Yeah.
That's what we got to see today.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen just about every. I've seen just about every Nathan Gorman fight. Bet the knockout. The only thing that will keep me reserved from picking the knockout is that Nathan Gorman knows how to stink out a fight. That's about it. But he has no chance of winning this fight. No chance. You have a better chance of me successfully running up and down the Philadelphia Rocky stairs without falling over than you have of Nathan Gorman winning this fight.
All right, you heard it from Lawrence Okole's biggest fan.
The sauce. Yes, I love Lawrence Okole.
All right. What else do we got tonight?
And then, the 168-pound fight between Zach Parker and John Ryder. Theoretically, the winner getting the interim WBO title is supposed to be next in line for Canelo if Canelo is forced to face a mandatory for his next fight.
I think he would face the winner of that.
I would bet the knockout on that fight.
For Zach Parker?
Yeah.
That's a horrible fight to bet a knockout on, but okay. John Ryder knows how to stink out a fight too, by the way.
Yeah. I was going to say I'd be more inclined to bet, not that I gamble, but I'd go more with Wardley knocking out Nathan Gorman than Zach Parker knocking out Ryder, but that's just me.
So Canelo versus the winner in the UK?
If he's serious about going over there and if he's going to stick it out with Matchroom, which seems like it would be the case, obviously that's the picture that Eddie's going to paint, then we'll see.
So even if Parker wins, who's a...
No, obviously if Parker wins, I don't know how much... Well, I mean, Canelo's going to drive that ship, but Parker is ready to come to the U.S., though, so...
He want to fight everybody, Jake.
What's up?
Parker want to fight everybody.
Who's Zach Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's been... I mean, he hasn't fought in over a year, so... Yeah, I mean, he said that to me, that he doesn't think that Canelo is going to necessarily come back around to this fight. He obviously wants to fight Canelo, but he said whether it's Canelo or anyone else, he just wants to get back in that mix. He knows all the big names at 168 are in the U.S. He wants to come over here and prove himself.
Call me crazy, Jake.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Demetrius Andrade. Did you check in with Andrade?
I have not heard from anyone from Andrade's team in months.
Because I've been hearing rumors that he should be back in the ring soon.
Is he going to be on a BLK show?
Nah. Seriously, I heard rumors for a couple weeks that he's coming back on a PBC show.
Okay.
What?
I heard the same.
Has anybody else heard those rumors?
I heard the same.
No. KB, where you at, KB? Help us out here. Because I was expecting.
KB don't know. I told him about it.
I was expecting to see Andrade fight Dusty Harrison on Black Prime.
No, I heard that for a while. I heard that for about a month or so too, Lev. I've been hearing the same thing you've been hearing.
He's out of moves at this point. So, I mean, PBC is the only place left where he can get a fight if he wants a fight.
Could that fight be a February fight against Jamal Charlo?
That'd be lovely.
I highly doubt it. He I don't even think he's fighting 160 no more, to tell you the truth. I told his cousin to look into it, and he ended up getting his account suspended.
Oh, Jesus.
It's going to be at 68.
Yeah. Yeah, he's already given up the belt at 160, and there's no path to fighting for a title.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and there's no money keeping him at 160 either. Which is the whole reason why he gave up the title. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so we got Parker. Y'all want to touch on next week, or you want to go to questions?
Go to questions.
Because Jake is on limited time. He's on vacation time. He took time out of his vacation.
Yeah. Right. And then still got to cover this Parker.
Where'd you go?
To Phoenix.
To Phoenix?
Phoenix, back where I'm going next week, yes.
Ugh.
He went to buy a house from Raging Babe.
No, stop it.
He went to help her flip a house?
No.
Yes. He did say he was looking at houses out there.
Yeah, she has given me consultation on where to buy.
Don't fall for it, Jake. I know that's your homie.
I'm not buying one of her houses. No. We're buying a new house.
If y'all want to remain friends, do not buy a house from her.
She does flips. We're buying a new built house. So.
Oh, you buying a new? Oh, look at him, Jake. Big money, Jake. I didn't know boxing scene work pay like. Let me get some of that boxing scene money.
Let me find out somebody hitting that cash app on the Jake and Lefty show.
Yes, thank
what?
you.
I said, let me find out somebody hitting that cash app on the Jake and Lefty show.
Yeah, we have some very generous anniversary donations.
Oh, hold on, people gave y'all money for your anniversary?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, shit. Let me get married. People giving out gifts like that.
Yeah.
All right. This.
I will be expecting cash in 3 years when we hit 30. So.
You'll be married for 30 years?
3 years. Yeah.
God damn, Jay, you only seen
Thanksgiving Day was 27 for us.
How old were you when you got married, Jake?
I was 24 going on 25. She was 25 going on 26.
Oh, that's not as bad as J-Ro. J-Ro, as soon as J-Ro was able to smoke, he got married.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
All right. Question time. Anybody got a question? Raise your hand.
Ari, I know you got a question, Ari. Make it quick.
Go ahead, ASAP.
Hey, Jake, I did join a little late, so
yeah.
Again, we always appreciate you showing up, especially on your, vacation. But it was about Charlo. We seen he said he was going to fight February or something like that. You got any news for us?
I don't. That was kind of a surprise to me because everything I was hearing was they were waiting for him to get right, before they could decide when he's going to fight. So I don't know if he's just going on his own saying he's fighting in February or if he's got that information specifically from Al. But if he is ready to fight, then we have to go back to the WBC's claim that they had to look into where Charlo was at. I don't see, I can't see plenty of ways, but if the WBC sticks to their guns, he should be having to fight Carlos Adames next. That's why Adames went to the convention to have his mandatory enforced. So, unless PBC already spoke to both of them and saying, here's a big bag and, you're going to take these two fights before you fight each other. I don't want to hear that he's going to come back. Well, he hasn't fought in 20 months. So let's get the Selechki fight out of the way. But if they still owe Selechki a fight, that could be next. But I'm hoping for something big from Charlo.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Me too. Any more questions? Go ahead, Ari.
Jake,
And if you have a question, just request to speak, and I'll add you.
Jake, I thought the WBC told Adames to do a voluntary of his interim title
So
before
they
they
did.
made a decision.
They told him that because their claim was that they had to check in with Charlo to see where he was at. Obviously, Charlo decided to check in on his own and tell everyone he's coming back in February. So if he's coming back in February, his mandatory is due. That was the whole purpose of giving Adames his interim title. So that's what they told him, that because Charlo wasn't available, that he's entitled to a voluntary defense. Basically, he's not nailed down to a mandatory. He could fight whoever he wants. But if Charlo's available and Adames wants that fight, I don't understand why that fight wouldn't be next. I get the business as to why it wouldn't be, but paperwork-wise, that should be next.
Any chance that we see Canelo fight the winner of Parker and Ryder in the UK, and then let that be the lead-in for Tank versus Ryan Cinco de Mayo?
Ooh.
Because it's in the zone's interest and Matchroom's interest. Well, the zone's interest too. If they're going to try to also sell the pay-per-view, if they're also going to try to sell the pay-per-view,
Right. Going backwards and working way back to Canelo, if everything goes the way they expect it to, Tank and Ryan both win in January. And then I thought they were supposed to fight April 15th. So I don't even know if Cinco de Mayo would factor into it at that point. But as far as Canelo, yeah, I could see, especially if John Ryder pulls off the upset, I could see Canelo going to the UK to fight John Ryder in some big, wherever Eddie wants to put that show, Wembley or whatever, and making that his, long-awaited, UK debut that he keeps talking about. But if Zach Parker wins, that's a different story. Then Frank would either have to bring him over there, or Zach would just come to the US and fight him.
Thank you, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Jake, how possible is that William Zepeda Shakur Stevenson fight?
I look, if it was solely up to William Zepeda, I would say it's next. I don't think Golden Boy and Zephyr are going to deliver him, personally. I think it's going to be on to the next one for Shakurgovich.
I think the thing is, Shakur don't really got much options at 135 on that top rank side. All the guys are. I'm sorry.
No, I hear you with that. I think we touched on that last week and probably the week before. That the thing with Top Rank is like they've done such a good job of mixing and matching their lightweights that they kept them all busy. But the downside is for a guy like Shakur, no matter who he'd be fighting at this point, it'd be deemed as a leftover. So he's going to stick to WBC route. He wants to make sure that he gets the obviously Top Rank. If they want to deliver the winner of Haney and Lomachenko, then Shakur would get him next. But this guarantees his place in line. So whether he gets that winner or if Haney wins and decides he's going to move up to 140 for whatever reason, Shakur is still fighting for that belt. That he wants to become a 3-division champion. So he's gonna let the WBC go down the list. And my understanding was, I believe his name is Yoshino. He's the number 6 contender. His team is already. They're kind of waiting for their number to be called because they are willing to take that fight. He's the one he just beat Nakatani a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that fight on the Taraji Kenshiro undercard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yep, that guy. So he's supposedly he's going to be willing to fight Shakur, and that's going to be by far his best payday.
I wish Shakur was in shape because if he was smart, he would fight that Japan guy December 31st on that one of those New Year's Eve cards.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea, except it's completely different promoters. So I get what you're saying, though.
Man, he ain't about to do that shit.
There's no reason to either. I mean, that guy's going to come over here. So.
Yeah. All right, who else got a question?
Any ideas who Charlo's going to fight in February?
No, I think all the options we've explored on here are probably that seems to be the pool right there. So like I said, I'd love to see, for all of Oscar's trolling, that he really does have a Charlo Munguia fight in his back pocket that he's going to deliver. But
do you have any insight on what quote unquote personal issues Charlo was going through, or is it something that you can't put out in public?
The latter.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's resolved, but it's to a point where he sounds like he's ready to return, obviously. So I just once it gets personal, it's just that some shit just doesn't need to be spoken about. I wouldn't want people, digging into my personal life like that.
February 27th is the Dominican Independence Day. I'm just saying, if he coming back in December, I'm just saying, there's somebody who's his mandatory is ready and willing.
Yeah,
ready and willing.
I agree. Look, that's everything I've said. The WBC, everything they said was based on not knowing when Charlo is coming back. Charlo just gave the WBC his timeline, so they can pretend that they didn't hear it, but everyone else did. So again, there's no reason why that fight should not be next.
Look, he needs no reason why what fight shouldn't be next.
Charlo and Adames.
No, come on, man. It's only one guy. It's only one guy out there taking on fights like that after long layoffs, and that's Big Fish. Everybody else need tune-ups. Okay, let's be realistic.
But all right. So this is a question I got for Jake. Would the WBC allow a tune-up, and keep him as the champion and Adames as the interim, or if he comes back for a tune-up, he'll get stripped?
Yeah, we've seen more egregious things from the WBC than that. This is light work.
It is, yeah.
If Adames was Mexican, he'll get it next. But Adames not Mexican.
Joel, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between a tune-up and the Sulecki fight that they already approved before? that was shit too.
Well, Sulecki is actually ranked in the WBC, believe it or not.
Anybody could get ranked when it's time to fight.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Like Sulecki is a decent fighter, but he's like
he's mid.
He's a level. He's like 2 levels above Avanesian.
Look,
I don't know.
Listen. Let Charlo.
I mean, he ran.
And then let Adames do a voluntary, and then let them fight each other in June.
He ran Danny Jacobs close.
Yeah,
right?
that was he fought a good fight. He lost, but he fought a good fight.
Yeah, he didn't get completely outclassed every time he stepped up to the world level like Avanesian. Come on, bro. Sulecki is a better fight than that bullshit.
Man, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we have the evidence to prove that he didn't get ran out the ring when he finally stepped up.
No, world level. At the top level, I'm fine with saying that they're both out of their depth. I just can't think of a decent Sulecki win though.
No decent wins, but his losses ain't as bad as getting knocked out by Mean Machine and getting ran out the ring by Lamont Peterson.
And his best win, Gabe Rosado.
I mean, but that's not, no disrespect to Gabe Rosado. I'm a fan, but that's not really saying much.
That's a decent win.
Yeah, that's like
the Gabe Rosado win. Gabe Rosado equals Mean Machine.
Come on, man. Come on. Look, the Rosado win was good enough to get him in the door to fight Andrade. I was ringside for that fight. He did not win a second in that fight.
Yeah.
Well, he was the first guy to beat Hugo Centeno. That counts for something, I guess. And did he beat Jack Koke, the German guy?
Okay.
Yeah.
Andrade's best win?
No, this is Sulecki's best win.
No, I'm saying Koke.
Yeah.
And Jack Koke ain't never been no hoe. Look at the fight he had with Derevchenko. He was a not called knockdown away from winning that motherfucker. So
yeah, let Charlo fight Sulecki, and then let Adames do a voluntary versus Mendoza, and then let them fight in June.
If I'm Adames,
I would rather see Charlo fight Lara.
Why would you want to see your guy fight a guy coming off that's not primed and ready?
See, my only thing is, do we know if Charlo's staying at 160 or not? Because he could be coming back, fight a tune-up and then move up to 268, which just leaves Adames, whatever. Now, if that happens, then I don't know. Let Adames get a shot at the title for vacant or whatever.
Now he would just get elevated. He don't need to fight for a vacant.
Then he can
I want Adames. Here's the thing: the reason why I want Adames to fight Charlo is obviously because it's a good money fight for him, or he could fight Munguia, whatever. I don't care. It's like, but I'm happy to hear that Charlo.
Yeah, we all at the we guessing at this point.
Oh, I'm going to say this. Every mix and match we've just had discussing who Charlo can fight, who Adames can fight, none of those are fights, none of those are shows I would particularly want to watch, other than those two fighting each other next. And I get, Charlo, yeah, he's been out, but he's been out of the ring for a long time going into every fight at middleweight.
Oh.
I mean, You know, we
I
can't
mean,
keep
you
saying,
can
"Oh,
put
he's
you can put them on the same card. You know, let Charlo headline versus
Jesus
somebody and let Adamas be the
Christ.
co-main.
No.
just
No. Because if you put them on the same card, they're gonna end up being co-features. I don't want that. Listen, nobody cares about Carlos Adames. I'm sorry. I understand you love this guy because he's Dominican. If he is anything but an opening bout, then you have a bad card. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen.
Bro, you don't care about him. That don't mean everybody else feels the same way. Don't be hating on Dominican. Yo,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with
it's
him.
funny how much tickets did Selecki Charlo sell before he had to pull out?
That fight sucked
Oh,
too.
okay, I'm just
That
saying.
fight
it wasn't.
sucked too.
I'm just saying. Apparently,
Hold
nobody
on.
cares about him in his hometown either.
That fight sucked too.
No. That fight did not get canceled because of ticket sales. I will say that.
Hey man, I all I know the ticket sales wasn't good.
They weren't bad. So, and that wasn't the reason why I got canceled.
You got a walk up crowd.
Yeah.
Walk up.
Yeah, walk up, see who's on the ticket, and then turn back around and go find something to do.
I think we have exhausted this one.
All right.
Oh god. All right, Broadway. Broadway, you got any other Dominican questions?
I mean, not to brag, but I kind of know everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no questions I got.
Well, do you know if I mean we talked about earlier your boy De Los Santos like number 11, so his chance of fighting Shakur is like slim to none when they go down the list of guys they want to
He's
fight.
quickly becoming one of my favorite fighters. Yo, that dude could talk some shit, bro. That dude's a great. I wish he spoke English. That dude is really good with the trash talk. But he calling out everybody. He calling out Chihuahua Cruz. He calling out Queen Garcia and Shakur Stevenson. That's what he's.
Oh no.
That's
Come
what
on
he's
now.
calling these
Come on.
people, and he wants all the
Come
smoke.
on. Come
Queen
on.
Garcia is taking on the
Come
Tank.
on.
How can you call
Exactly.
him
No,
He
but
gotta
Queen?
stop it. He
said,
it.
this is what he said. He said, listen, Tank is taking a tune-up against a Dominican. Ryan looking for a tune-up. Take another Dominican, and that's it. And he said he's willing to move up to 140.
Well, Jay, you need Broadway. You need to take over his Twitter account and tweet the stuff he says in English.
Bro, he is so good at trash talking. I wish he fucking spoke English, man. I gotta get him back on my show.
Well, take over his Twitter account and run it. And just say whatever you say in Spanish, say it in English, and add a little bit of flair to it.
I wish he spoke English too. So, because if I would have heard him say that, I would have told him, "Shut the fuck up." What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's
What
what
are
I
you
told
talking about?
Wilder when he started talking about getting poisoned and then fucking gloves and the suit was too heavy.
All right, no Wilder slander. Come on, man. Let's move on.
I'm surprised he didn't come out in a wheelchair next time, just to make sure nothing is too heavy for him.
The only thing I know is that Tyson Fury was with Dr. Ooze. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Let's move on. Anybody else got a question? Cal?
Yeah, no.
No, I ain't got no question, dog. I'm just listening.
I'm just listening. I'm just chilling, bro.
Okay. Alpy? I know you got a question, Alpy. As much shit you tagged me and Jake in, we done been tagging like 5 of your tweets today already. What's going on?
Oh, I got a question. Besides the Kenneth Sims fight, what other fights are going to be on that undercard of Michelle Rivera Frank Martin? They haven't announced anything.
They did. Uskadagi is fighting Shishkin in an eliminator. All 3 fights on the Showtime portion are eliminators.
Okay.
You know it's time to go when y'all start talking about this shit.
Yeah,
so,
what was that name? What was that name you said?
Shishkin.
Spell it.
Vladimir Shishkin. He's undefeated super middleweight.
I guarantee you can't spell it.
You saying I can't spell it?
Mm-hmm.
Shishkin. Shishkin.
Oh, I thought it began with a C.
No.
Lefty, we don't even know if he's right.
I could have said just about anything.
Yeah, you could have.
I think Shishkin will beat him.
All right, Melly Bell, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, Jake?
What's up, man?
Any word on who Rashidi could be fighting next?
No, I was disappointed that it's not going to be the Boots fight because that was a hot rumor, and then there's very varying reasons as to why that fight is not happening next.
Yeah, because I heard about that fight supposedly going to happen months ago.
What's the varying room? What's the rumors why that fight?
One side
Boogeyman Boots.
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't Boogeyman Boots.
One version is that Boogeyman Boots turned it down. The other version is that I'm sorry. One version is that Rashidi turned it down, or his management turned it down, and the other is that Boots wants to go the IBF route, and Rashidi's ranked too low. So,
but Rashidi is ranked right above Cody Crowley. So
Cody Crowley is not getting that fight next, as far as I know.
So he's not fighting nobody.
I would like to see. I would like to see that fight though. If that's where you're going, if Rashidi Ellis is fighting Cody Crowley, I'd love to see that fight. But I haven't heard a firm update on who he's getting next. The hottest rumor was Boots, and I was told under no uncertain terms that fight happening January 7th. So.
Any idea who Boots fighting?
Is there a chance that since
hold on, wait, Matt, hold on. You step. Who is it then, Jay?
I keep forgetting the guy's name. Karen. It's not. This isn't the next. This is the guy they were looking at. If they're going the IBF
hold on. I can't understand Jake because everybody's trying to step in. Say the name again. Jake. You gotta unmute yourself. I had to mute everybody. Yeah. Who?
I'm gonna look it up. So he's fighting the next rank. This is the guy he's looking at. If he can fight for the interim title, it would have to be against the next ranked guy in the IBF, which is Karen. I think Chadzkin. Oh, what the fuck is that name?
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
His name starts with
Chuck Hazian.
There you go. Thank you.
So his first name is Karen, and we don't know how to say his last name.
He number 4 in the IBF, and he also ranked in the WBO as well.
Is he a white guy?
But if it's going to be for interim title in the IBF, don't even matter. No, I mean the WBO don't even matter no more.
No, for your theory, that's why I was saying that
he'll be removed from those rankings.
Right.
I knew that was about to take a turn for the worse.
That's what I'm saying. That's if he goes the IBF route. And there was another name I heard, which I don't understand. If he is going the IBF route, this name
Gabriel Maestre, right?
Yeah, Maestre's name keeps popping up, but that doesn't make sense because then he'd be dropped from the IBF, unless they magically get a Maestre ranks. But he's a WBA fighter all the way through.
Any idea? He said he was going to announce his fight yesterday, but any idea when he'll be headlining his own card?
Well, I mean, it was going to be if he wasn't going to be if Spence Crawford happened, he was going to be co-featured for that. With Tank fighting, they want to make him the co-feature for that. Otherwise, he would have been the co-feature. I mean, his own main event by now. So that was always the plan. If he wasn't the co-feature on one of these big pay-per-views, that he was going to be a Showtime main event.
Why won't PBC do an all-white card that weekend in honor of the January 6th Capitol Rising?
I think they would leave that to another promoter. Yeah, that should make for a fun weigh-in, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's up, Marquise?
Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt anything with it. But the fight you just mentioned for that Rivera card, the Cosmo, it's Vladimir Shishkin versus Uskatagi, and your opener, I'm sure, is Vincent Astrolabo and Nikolai Popov at bantamweights.
Right, that's an IBF bantamweight eliminator. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Astrolabo is the one that hit Rigondeaux with the crock pot, right?
That's the one.
Oh my God. All right. Any other questions?
I thought Kenny Sims was on that card.
Whoever he's fighting, it would presumably be on the YouTube portion of it, but he will not be. I don't know why they announced that his next fight to be televised because it won't be.
Isn't he fighting that kid Santiago that Haney beat a while ago? The Dominican guy that.
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, something Santiago. I can't remember his first name.
Yeah, Giovanni.
Giovanni. Yeah, he fought Devin Haney before.
Alfredo. I think his name
Alfredo. I think it's Alfredo Santiago, something like that. Yeah, Alfredo Santiago.
He knocked out Carl Dawson in his last fight.
That's a horrible fight.
Damn, Dargan. I ain't heard that name in a minute.
Yeah, really.
He's supposed to be that guy.
Yeah, he want to be on Love and Hip Hop and be a superstar and all that.
Yeah.
Oof.
Hey, somebody just told me that Brandon Lee on a Rivera card too.
I ain't hear that.
I just got the note dropped to me. They said Brandon Lee's on the undercard. So.
Yeah.
Yo, tell Brandon. Oh, no, go ahead, Jake.
I was gonna say he'd be on the YouTube portion too, because the TV portion is already filled up.
Yo, why not Brandon Lee, Elvis Rodriguez? Maybe not for this card, obviously, but in general, like, why not make that fight?
Why not Brandon Lee, Kenneth Sims?
Because Brandon Lee
that
sucks.
makes sense. That's even better.
Because
That makes
Brandon Lee
sense
sucks.
too.
That's why they want to build him into something, but he sucks. He's only going to fight tomato cans until they can cash him out, and you're not cashing him out against some goddamn Dominican.
Yo, y'all ain't gonna be in for a ruder weight.
Yo, Lefty, do you know where Matt lives? I'm gonna go to his neighborhood, make sure no Dominican restaurant give him any food.
I know. No, don't go to his neighborhood. Go to his store and steal.
Somebody just did that just now. Actually, that's why I had myself on mute because he was talking real gangster. I ain't want y'all to hear me getting bitched out just now. He's like, yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Put a
I'm like,
poster of Matt
sir.
on every
You're
Dominican,
right. I'm not gonna do anything. Please
every
leave
Dominican
though.
restaurant. Make sure they don't give him any Dominican food.
Didn't somebody have a bone to pick with Jake about what his opinions that he tweeted out a couple weeks ago before he went into hiding? Let me go find
about what?
Let me go find that tweet so we can jump Jake.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What's up? Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, him up on his
let me ask you a question. I had asked Lefty this during the week. Why can't Boots, since
who the hell is that?
That's Marco. Man, leave Marco's is that guy, bro. He come here.
Since Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis is fighting.
Is he mocking somebody or that's his voice?
No,
That's
that's
my
his voice.
That's my voice.
He's from
Come on,
DC.
man.
Nah, I'm from Brooklyn. That's my voice.
Oh, you from
Nah,
Brooklyn?
I don't know what hospital you was born in.
St. Mary's, brother.
All right.
Listen. So
I was born in St. John's.
Okay, my man. Listen, Jake, if Ortiz and Stanionis is fighting and Boots will move up, right? Why don't he put the pressure on Crawford after Crawford fight Abenija, whatever his name is? Why you don't put the pressure on him to get that fight?
That's exactly what I did theorize that earlier. That if he knows he's not going to get a clear shot at Spence, why not just get the title shot that he's guaranteed to get? Especially if he's saying he's about all that. He's highly ranked with the IBF and the WBO. To me, it seems like there would be a clearer path to, if you want to fight a champion at the moment, a reigning champion, go fight Terrence Crawford. If you want to settle for an eventually vacant belt, then wait it out of the IBF.
Now, are you sure?
I'm going to say this. Look, with Boots, hold on. If Boots is in full control of who he fights next, I would love to see him go fight Terrence Crawford. Knowing Cameron Duncan's history, I can easily see him waiting out the IBF belt to become vacant. So again, all these fights we discussed, man, it's not
I keep telling y'all about this Cameron Duncan guy. Y'all don't want to listen to me.
Right, because for him and his career, that would be the mega. I mean, that'll probably put him where he need to be at, because he's not going to fight. I don't think he's going to fight Spence. I think Spence going to be gone.
Bro, why are you yelling?
I'm sorry.
That's how y'all talking Brooklyn.
That's not how we talking Brooklyn, man.
I'm on my speaker. I'm sorry, champ. He
y'all
like
got to speak
Briggs.
over the trains and the cars and the traffic. Y'all got to talk.
He yelling like Shannon Briggs.
Look, my wife has always explained it. It's not yelling. He's excited.
Matt Street saying Marco sound more like Brooklyn than you do. We might have to check. We might have to check your Brooklyn credentials.
Listen, y'all can check my credentials. I went to PS262. I went to MS324. Y'all already know Jefferson Ave between Marcus Garvey and Lewis.
Man,
y'all already know the vibes.
Grand Theft Auto codes you were saying.
Marcos, we need to check his. Marco, you need to check his credentials, man.
Nah, he legit. He in bed sky. He all right.
Oh, he know the vibes. See, I ain't even have to tell him. He know the vibes. See, you got to be from Brooklyn to know.
Jake, what happened to the IBF, man? They used to enforce their mandatories really strict. I feel like they turned it into the other fucking sanctioning bodies.
Yeah, with the welterweight, it is. I mean, I guess Spence's hands was already tied. There's already so much paperwork as to who he would have had to have fought next. So it is bizarre that the WBC just got to jump the line over everyone when that was the last mandatory he actually made. But
Yeah, man. But
It's
the
where
thing
we're
is,
at.
the
So,
IBF, the IBF
Look, look, look,
strict
look, 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 look,
Canelo.
look, 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 look. We want to see good fights, okay? Come on, bro. What I always tell y'all, the hoes fight. Is the
Wait,
hoes
Boots
coming
is the
to the fight?
IBF.
There must be a Dominican somewhere high in the IBF rankings that's not getting the fight
No.
for Gerald to be saying
Boots,
Bro,
this.
Boots is ranked high in the IBF. He's not Dominican.
But bro,
okay,
we
so
want
what
to
you
see
saying? You
Boots
want to
fight.
see Boots versus Spence?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what? Boots versus Spence is a good fight. It's a very good fight. It's like the two of the top heavy welterweights in the division. But you know what I want to see? You know what I
Keith
want to see?
Thurman.
Yes, I want to see because Thurman is a bigger fight. Number one, number two, then the winner of Stanionis and Virgil Ortiz,
yeah.
which I hope is Virgil Ortiz. I'm praying it's Virgil Ortiz. Then we get Spence versus Virgil Ortiz in front of 100,000 in Cowboy Stadium. I like fights that move the sport forward, not fights that keep it stagnant or that nobody cares about. Okay, the top has to pay for the bottom. If you want your Dominican fighters to keep fighting, you need big fights like Spence versus Thurman, Spence versus Ortiz. That pays for the smaller fights that you like De Los Santos versus whoever he fights next, or or Elvis versus whoever he fight next. You got to have the big fights to fund the smaller fights. If we left boxing up to who boxing fans want to see fight, this shit would die within 5 years,
Right.
like HBO did.
I think Boots.
HBO was the ultimate. At the death of HBO, they were the ultimate hardcore boxing channel, and nobody outside of hardcore boxing fans cared about that shit. That's why they went out of business.
I think Boots versus Spence is an exciting
Listen,
fight, and I
listen. I
think
love Chocolatito, but you can't build your whole programming around Superfly fights. You can't do
no,
that.
but I think Boots
Those
got
you
star
need big fights
potential.
to supplement those fights. Huh?
You don't think Boots got star potential? He knocks
No, he ain't.
motherfuckers
How many
out.
cards has he headlined? That's why I keep telling y'all. Boost needs to headline a card. Boost needs to headline a card. Boost needs to headline. You have to show that you look at Virgil Ortiz. You have to show that you're able to generate money for people to take these risks to fight you. I mean, this is business.
We got to see the type of women you bring out.
Now, the thing is, I feel like he hasn't had the opponent to headline in the sense like we know everybody who he's fought. We know he could knock out.
I mean, okay. Look, he hasn't had the opponent to headline. Everybody we've seen Gervonta Davis fight, we know he can knock out too, right? It's not about the opponent. If you need an opponent to headline, then you're not that big. It's about you. Gervonta Davis can headline against my cousin.
Now, but
You see what I'm saying?
Javonte's a superstar, bro.
Okay, but he
I'm not
also
saying he's a
started on
superstar.
undercards. He didn't become a superstar overnight. That's what I'm saying. You still need to have that main event. You need to headline your own cards. So other guys are going to take a risk to fight you. Ain't nobody in this game the same way Keith Thurman wasn't letting Earl Spence make a name off of him without proving that he was worth it. It's gonna happen to the next guy. It's always happened that way.
I just want to see Boots in a real fight, and if the IBF did they
Okay,
thing,
there's a lot of real fights out there, like Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis. Boots could have fought Stanionis.
Boots could have fought Virgil.
Or Virgil. That's a real fight.
yeah, I would have. I see those fights. I would have been very happy with those fights.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like I said, motherfucking why don't we give Virgil Ortiz credit? It's time to start giving Virgil Ortiz some goddamn credit around this motherfucker.
I, I do. I'm high on Virgil Ortiz than Boots, and I know I'm probably the only one on here
But
that thinks that.
how could Boots fight Virgil? Virgil be talking all that, oh wait, down the line it's gonna be.
Hey, yeah, I thought this was the question show for Jake,
Bro,
man.
My
it's
bad.
y'all can ask the question, but y'all like we said, when is Brandon Lee gonna fight? I'm telling y'all putting y'all faith in Cameron Duncan fighters, y'all gonna be waiting for fucking ever. They're gonna try to sneak their way in. This is nothing against Boots, but Cameron Duncan ain't known for taking these type of risks that like a Virgil Ortiz would take.
Correct.
And here's the thing, and this is the position that Boots is putting himself in that I don't like. Boots is gonna position himself as someone who's a boogeyman, but what he's really doing is he's gonna stop taking the risk that got him to where he's at in order to wait out the big fight. I don't like that.
I don't either.
Why
You
is
got to go
Virgil
get a
fighting
big fight.
Stanionis when Stanionis and Boots is basically under the same umbrella? Why would he let Virgil get that fight? Come on, man.
You got to be ambitious, man. You got to be ambitious.
Now he turns into Black Janabek. Come on.
It's a lot of these guys.
Come
They
on,
think
man.
they want to be. There's too many want to be Donald Trumps in boxing. These guys behind the scenes. Look, these fighters. Of course, he would fight Stanley, but you also got guys that want to be Donald Trumps.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Everybody think they're businessmen. That's what it means.
Yeah. Everybody think they're business.
Geronabek Ennis think he's a businessman now. But he should have said, "Let me fight Stanionis."
Oh, well, he should have. What the IBF should have done is do their fucking job.
Who, bro? Nobody is gonna give you anything. Nobody's gonna sit around and wait. Nobody's gonna allow you to get a shot at something they built without you proving that you're worth it.
We're out.
Gonna do that, my guy.
Try to store on 86th Street. They still have 86th and 2nd Avenue might still have more left because they got a bigger shipment than us.
To a customer?
You say what?
No, MVO's talking to a customer. MVO always does that shit.
All right, go ahead, Brian. You had a question. No, Marshy. He was first. Well, go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No, he was first. He can go first.
Go ahead, Marshy.
All right, guys. How you doing, everyone? Good. I just wanted to ask Jake. Do you know if the Zone are going to be showing Ioka and Franco?
It's in discussion.
And sorry, just one more. Is there any return of Erickson Lubin?
Yes, first quarter of 2023.
All right, cheers, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, and he does not want. He is not interested in a series of stay busy fights.
Oh, good stuff. All right, cheers, mate.
I ain't even know people care about Lubin. That's crazy.
Hey.
You said care about who?
Lubin.
Hey, Matt, Op man to be proud of you. You don't care about nobody but FBA fighters, man.
Yeah. Listen.
Right, go ahead with your question, Brian.
Hey, close your ears real quickly. I'm about to ask about DC people. Jake, any news on Trayvon Marshall getting on one of these cars soon? That's coming up.
Who?
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Marshall.
Trayvon Marshall.
Oh.
Nigga, you could DM that nigga. He could tell you that.
Hey, you gotta stop disrespecting my DC.
Y'all holding up
that,
Jake. Y'all holding up Jake Vacation to ask about Trayvon Martin.
Jake
That's
being
crazy.
a fool right now.
Gary Russell, man. I seen him. He posted some workout video.
Damn, Brian.
He seemed like he back.
God damn, you DC niggas don't stop talking for a motherfucker. Question. God damn.
Nah, hey, that Gary Russell question is just a mess with Lefty, but I really was asking about Trayvon coming back.
Well, that was my next question.
Trayvon Marshall, Jake. You got any Trayvon Marshall news?
I don't know why I had it in my head that he was fighting December 17th. Maybe I have my. If he's not fighting in December, then he's fighting in January.
There you go, Trayvon Marshall.
The answer is no. The answer is no. He has no Trayvon Marshall news.
Jaleel Hackins from DC, right?
Yeah, he from DC too.
Yeah, he's fighting on the undercard.
Yeah. I seen him at the fight. He got a fight coming up soon.
And if anybody wants some Jaleel Hackins news, you go check out Boxing Source. They just did an interview with him. Boxing Source, Jay Beasy. Support that channel on YouTube.
Hey, Les, stop hating on DC, man.
I just gave DC some props.
Trayvon Marshall's nice, man. He's definitely a prospect to watch.
Well,
a lot.
Yo, Lefty, tell Brian about how Gary Russell Jr. really helped the sport of boxing in his long title run.
How he what?
How he really helped the sport of boxing in his long title run.
All right. Anyway, Ezra, what's up?
I just didn't like the Janabek slander from MVO. It went unchecked. I know I'm the only person to check it, so I had to come on here real quick. Janabek will fight any man. No one will fight him.
Didn't Janabek block you?
We made up. That's the past.
Ezra, Janabek's ducking Carlos Adames. You don't want that smoke.
He'll fight Adames.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
Listen, everybody. Listen, see, and that's my problem. Everybody is a boogeyman, but there's always someone lower on the totem pole willing to fight you. So why isn't Janabek willing to fight bum ass Carlos Adames?
He'll fight Adames. I already told you that. There's no problem. We can make it happen.
Sign contract, big boy. Sign contract.
So, Jake, is Munguia most likely going to fight Janabek next? Is he finally going to exercise that WBO mandatory that he's had for 19,000 years?
Right, we're going to find out in the next 8 days. It's either going to be Janabek or somehow this Charlo fight pops up. I'd be very surprised if it was the latter, but...
I'll tell you right now, if Munguia fights this Janabek guy, we riot. That is not a worthy fight.
That's a damn good fight.
I don't understand how they go from. I don't understand how they go from want him to agreeing for him to fight Triple G, which the commission had to step in and cancel that, to not fighting fucking Janabek, Charlo, Andrade. I don't understand why they were willing to risk him then, but now Zanford want to be all conservative with him now.
Because he wasn't known back then. He wasn't known.
Yeah, he wasn't known. Oh shit. My bad, I'm driving.
Look, all I'm gonna say, Charlo versus Jacobs, February.
Come on.
Jacobs
No,
can't
when
even
it
do
happens,
160.
but that it's gonna be at 68. I'm telling y'all. I'll see y'all in Brooklyn.
I hope not.
I will say a Charlo Jacobs fight, a catchweight fight has been discussed in the past. That would not be the most far-fetched option out of any of the ones we discussed.
Told y'all.
Yeah, they
Jake,
have discussed that in the past.
Any news of what Triple G's gonna do next?
Yes, I was told that he will go through with the Falcao fight, and there is serious talk about him fighting in Kazakhstan.
Falco in Kazakhstan. TJ.
Yep.
Come on with your excuses for Boots. Go ahead.
You talking about excuses for Boots? What is Boots gonna do? Like, what do y'all want him to do? I don't understand. I understand
Fight
the
somebody,
shit.
motherfucker.
Like, I don't understand. Niggas don't want to fight him. Niggas been turning him down for months.
Who turned him down?
I can't go down the list. I don't remember all these fighters.
Exactly.
Nah. You said niggas. So who been turning them down? And I better not hear nobody from Massachusetts, from New England, unless his name is Boo Boo Andre.
Look, maybe they did turn him down, but please give me somebody that's worth me tuning in and fight.
Yeah,
that's all I want to see is this guy. So, look, we've been through 5 years of this boogeyman shit. Then when it's time for the boogeyman to sign the contract, he turned to Casper the Friendly Ghost. I'm not about to invest no more time into no motherfucking boogeymen. Nigga, either y'all fighting or y'all not.
I mean, I feel that the boogeyman talk is horrible and annoying, but I don't think that's the case with Boots. I don't think Boots.
When there's a will, there's a way. You can always get it done. When you start accepting these excuses, not accepting the best, then you turn into a soccer fan.
So you think Boots?
Where you get happy with 0-0 ties.
Well, you think like Boots faking the funk, like he don't really want, or you just think he just making
Of course
bad?
He wanted. Of course he'll fight anybody they put in front of him. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to make that shit. Where there's a will, there's a way. That's always.
I've been saying he needs to be outside niggas' windows like Shannon Briggs. So he needs to start doing shit like that.
Look, you got to look at how guys
do all that. I don't think it's him. Cameron Duncan needs to step this shit up, man.
Yeah.
And look at how Frank Martin and Michelle Rivera got that shit done.
Right, I was going to say Frank Martin's a good example, and Boots could have just looked to Stephen Fulton to see how Stephen Fulton handled his own career. You don't have to look far for inspiration.
Not for nothing. I don't know if this is really a good example, but you could even say Benavidez and Plant, because it looked like they got that shit done quick. I guess Benavidez just accepted the fucking terms because he really wanted to fight.
Benavidez is going to keep accepting the terms.
Yeah.
That fight is done, but that fight is done, but the conditions are not done.
Oh my god.
But it's going to happen. I mean, it's obviously going to happen in March. Yeah, I think March. But
I got a Dominican question. Puello, no update on that? I actually just interviewed him. He seemed quite unsure as to who he's going to fight next.
I have the same two names. I think I mentioned him last week, and I'll keep mentioning him this week. So we know it's not Barroso. Barroso's taking another fight next. I hope it's going to be Arias Juan Russell, but it seems like it's not going to be. And Rolly's name has not disappeared.
Yeah, that's the same two names we discussed as well. Yeah.
I'm not mad at either one of those fights.
So he ducking that AB smoke?
No, AB is willing. Yeah, right.
That's hilarious.
If Russell doesn't fight him, who's he fighting?
Who's Russell fight? I have no clue. Like I said, I've heard for months that he was supposed to fight Puello, which is why Barroso was going to step aside. So I don't know what the plan is for GAR at the moment.
Somebody want to know your estimation of pay-per-view guys for Rodriguez versus above or below 800,000
dollars.
$80.
$800,000.
I would say I'd say 50 maybe.
Yeah, Prograis look in shape though.
They're both do. Yeah.
I ain't never seen him with abs and none of that.
Yeah, he even said, I think this is the first time, I don't know if it's the first time ever or just the first time in a long time, where he's actually had a nutritionist for this fight.
I got him by KO though.
Oh, yeah, he said the old way is the way you get CTE. I agree with him. 100%.
Tony Harrison kind of had similar, like, obviously, much love for his father, but he said, like, the way his brother does things, like, he appreciates the new school way of doing things as opposed to the way his father always trained him.
Because
Like, his father just
trainers could get you down. They could cut you. They get you down, but it's going to be some crazy shit.
Crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
They got them old school ways. They'll get you there.
Yeah. He said he feels much healthier working with LJ than he did with his dad.
Yeah.
Who's Tony Harrison fight next? Oh.
Jake, what did you eat for Thanksgiving?
We had chicken and sweet potato. We did not have turkey.
You say what? You say what?
Yeah, chicken. We did not have turkey.
If you weren't married to an ethnic woman, Jake, what would you, in
Did
your
you have some pork? 'Cause
Neanderthal
I didn't
ways,
have no
have
pork.
eaten for Thanksgiving dinner?
Boston Market.
What do Neanderthals eat for Thanksgiving?
When I was, I mean, we had traditional stuff growing up, but.
Oh, hold on. I got to mention it. We was doing a Secret Santa, but it's a not so Secret Santa, so it's just gonna be a Santa. Because in order to do it, you got to email the person your
Right.
Amazon wish list, so it can't be a Secret Santa. But anybody interested in the gift exchange that we're going to do, please contact me by December 3rd.
All right.
It'll be a $30 limit.
Yeah.
A $30 limit.
$30 minimum or maximum?
Maximum.
Yo, wait a
All
minute.
right.
As mean as people are on Twitter, y'all really gonna exchange gifts?
Why not?
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy.
I mean, it ain't like we gonna exchange gifts with motherfucking Michael Montero.
Well, how the nigga y'all gonna mail it to him?
This is what you do. You got to have an Amazon wish list, okay?
Oh.
So I'm gonna pull names from a hat and match up people who's going to be giving gifts to each other, and then you will email your Amazon wish list to that person. That way, you don't need nobody's address, you don't need nobody personal information. You just go to the wish list, click it, and it'll go to them. That's the simplest,
That
easiest
is
way to
a
do
very
it.
good idea. That's what the OnlyFans girls do.
Oh, it is. See. So anybody interested, by next week's show, we will be pulling names.
All right.
$30 maximum. You should be able to get somebody. So don't be sending nobody no Amazon wish list with no fucking.
What's the minimum?
50-inch TV. The minimum is whatever they got on the Amazon wish list. So if somebody send you a gift for $5, then give them the $5 gift.
All right, I'm gonna put a $30 gift card.
No, that's lazy. Okay, so anybody interested, make sure y'all DM me, and I will create a group chat of everybody in there. That group chat will be strictly for that wish list. Don't be posting other shit in there.
All right, no
Boxing.
more group chats. I'm done. All
Yeah,
right.
because I'm about tapped out on group chats. Okay, so Jake.
Yes.
You got any final words you want to leave us with?
I do. I actually have some encouraging news on Idos Yerbosinali. I'm told he's making remarkable progress. Obviously, it goes without saying he's never going to fight again. But as far as quality of life, each day continues to look. And he's far. My understanding is he's far beyond where they expect him to be at this point. So very encouraging news on his recovery process.
That is great news. Hopefully, Buddy McGirt could be his trainer when he's ready to fight again.
He's not fighting no more.
He's never fighting again, Matt. Again, I keep repeating that.
Matt, you have any final words you want to leave us with?
I do have some final words. Guys, please stop arguing with people with boxing in their Twitter handle. Please. You guys are making fools of yourselves.
Thank you.
Please, guys. They don't know shit about boxing. Please. Stop arguing with them. Also, listen, we love Joel. Let's keep the Dominican Boxing Talk to Joel's channel. Okay? We gotta stop letting the Dominican Boxing Talk infiltrate regular boxing
Yo,
Twitter.
listen, Dominicans run boxing. Tank
Yeah,
fighting
yes,
a
they
Dominican.
do.
What's up, bro?
Yes, they do. I want them to run boxing on your page, though. Only your page. I promise I will always post every link you ever post if you just please stop talking Dominican boxing in these spaces.
Hold
I will
on. Who's
post
Tank fighting?
everything.
Who is Tank fighting?
Some guy.
Yeah.
That's right. That is a tough fight. Broadway, do you have anything you want to plug or leave us with? Broadway does have an interview with Kenny Porter where he talks about slapping the shit out of Fred from Barbershop Conversations. So y'all should check that out.
It's funny. I had a long interview with Kenny Porter about his life, about him training his son, and everything everybody wants to talk about is the part where I asked him about smacking Fred. So I find that part hilarious. But yes, I did interview Kenny Porter. If you guys want to check that out, I'll DM you the link. Just DM me, tell me, yo, Broadway, send me the link. I'll DM it to you.
I will
I
post
also
the link
just
for you, Broadway.
I just interviewed Alberto Buello Wednesday. So if you want that link, also DM me. I'll send you that. And then last week I interviewed Hector Luis Garcia. One of my best interviews in regards to the Tank Davis fight. I asked 1,000 questions about that fight, how he got the news, when he got the news, who was he training with, all that good stuff. So if anybody wants either of those interviews DM me. I'll gladly send you that. And I most likely will be interviewing Edwin De Los Santos next week. We just haven't locked in a date.
Okay. Marquise, you got any articles, anything you want us to read? Anything you want to?
This week, no. Next week I will. But I'm in Phoenix for the Chocolatito nonsense. So I'll see you, Jake, next week and all other nonsense.
Okay. Anybody else have anything you want to plug? Boxing Marshy, do you have a channel?